welcome back to my kitchen. You guys, I was getting ready to start dinner, so I thought I'd bring you all along as I fix this ever-loving backyard bird again. Yes, it's chicken. I told y'all it was gonna be chicken. And today we're gonna do a smothered creamy chicken, or a creamy smothered chicken. Honey, it's gonna have some gravy with it. You guys, if you've been here for a while, my dude number one, aka my husband, he loves it with some gravy. It's gonna have to have something creamy where he can put over some rice. So we're doing a creamy smothered chicken, smothered creamy chicken, whatever you want to call it. So I thought I would bring you guys along with me as I prepared this. Of course, I've thoroughly washed my hands. Y'all don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty. So we're gonna get started, and I'm starting off with chicken thighs. You guys, I just pulled what I had out of the freezer. Now, I probably would have used a piece of the chicken with the bone, like the chicken thighs with the bone in, or maybe, what's that big old piece of chicken? Breast, that one, with the bone in. But again, I just pulled out what I had. So I've already thoroughly rinsed off, washed off my chicken. It's thoroughly patted dry, okay? Because we're going to start this on top of the stove, frying it in my skillet, cast iron skillet. But then we're going to finish it in the oven. So make sure when you clean your chicken that you get it very, very dry. So it's clean and it's patted dry. So that's about 2 pounds of chicken, okay? And then to season it, you guys, let me start with, I love this Montreal chicken seasoning. If you guys have not tried this, I love this as well. Now, what you see here, I have some parsley, I have some crushed red pepper, I have some seasoned salt, some ground black pepper, I have some paprika, some onion powder, and some garlic powder. You guys, how about all of that is in this Montreal chicken, okay? And to be honest with you guys, I like it, but today was the first day I like really read everything that was in it, and then I looked at everything I had on the counter. I said, that's everything that's in here. No wonder I love it so much. So you can use all this extra stuff if you want to, but I'm gonna keep it simple. Y'all know I like to keep it simple, keep it quick. It's not the holidays. We do all that long, extra cooking during the holidays. During the week, we're keeping it quick, simple, easy. So I'm gonna use the Montreal chicken seasoning, and I'm gonna add a little chili powder. The chili powder was the only thing that wasn't in there unless it was included in, because it does say garlic, onion, salt, spices, and herbs, including black pepper, red pepper, parsley, paprika, and has some green bell pepper in it. So I don't know if the chili powder was included in the spices and herbs, but anywho, we're gonna use these two. Y'all, that rhyme, spitting bars. That's what my dude number 2 would say. I'm spitting bars. Anywho, y'all, that is so corny. But look, we're going to keep it simple with these two. Okay, so we're going to slide all this extra stuff out of the way. Now, I'm going to be really generous with this, okay? Because this is what we're using, okay? Now, as we start making the gravy or the creaminess for the chicken, I love Better Than Bouillon. I love Better Than Bouillon. I do not like the chicken broth that's in the boxes. It's bland, doesn't have enough flavor for me. But the base of our gravy is going to be a chicken broth. So I'm going to make my own, and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of each, y'all. And I recently, okay, wait a minute, y'all, I'm so excited. Look, I've always used the roasted garlic, but most recently, y'all, I found some sauteed onion. So today we're using the roasted garlic and the sauteed onion. If you've not tried it, try it. Be very mindful when you use it because it can be salty. So add it gradually. So I'm going to start with like 4 cups of water, but I'm going to make my broth with this. Okay? And then I have to add, when I'm making my broth, we're going to use about a couple tablespoons of, when I'm making my gravy, we're going to use about a couple tablespoons of all-purpose flour to kind of thicken it up a little bit. We're going to need a little bit of butter. This is unsalted butter. And then we're going to need a little bit of heavy whipping cream. You guys, heavy whipping cream and butter. What a wonderful combination when you are making something creamy, like a creamy gravy. Now we're going to start getting this chicken seasoned up. And again, I'm going to be very liberal. Being that my chicken is boneless and it's skinless. Okay, if you're using chicken where it does have skin, make sure you get your seasonings up under there. Okay, and we're going to rub it in really, really good. Now I'm going to tell you, for those of you who have a problem with me being in my kitchen, in my home, fixing dinner for my family, using my hands that have been thoroughly cleaned, and I don't have on gloves, for those of you that have a problem with that, you're going to be all right. I promise you, you will. I do not wear gloves when I'm in my home fixing dinner for my family. I don't do that. So I'm not going to get on YouTube and put on a pair of gloves and act like I cook like that. Now, some people do. Some people do. Because they don't like touching the meat and feeling the meat and all that kind of stuff. But I don't. Honey, I didn't see my mama put on their glove, or grandma, or aunties for that matter, when they cooked in the kitchen. Now, if I was in a restaurant, or if I was cooking this and preparing it for a lot of people, that would be different. But honey, I'm cooking it for my family. And no, I'm not putting on gloves and I'm rubbing my hands all in this chicken. How about that? Okay? So, very generous. All right? You guys don't forget, make sure that the chicken is really dry. I declare it just, ooh. Some of the stuff that people worry about when you doing your thing in your kitchen. Yeah, I'm convinced some people are just bored. I'm going to add a little bit of this chili powder. Okay? Yeah, some people are just bored and they don't know what to do with themselves if they're not complaining about what somebody else doing. They just don't. Okay. So we are thoroughly seasoned. And if you didn't notice, I picked up this bottle of chili powder with the hand that was not all in the chicken. Okay? Alright. And now I'm getting ready to wash my hands again. So now I'm going to go on and prepare my oven, and I'm going to get it preheated to 400 degrees. Okay, now I'm turning on my skillet, and I'm going to try to get it hot really quick. So right now I'm going to turn it up on high, but I'm going to turn it down in just a couple of minutes, okay? Now, I'm going to start with using a little bit of grease. My grease of choice is bacon grease. And I'm using enough to barely cover the bottom of my skillet. So that's going to be about 2 tablespoons. Okay? Now while that's heating up, let me go on and make my broth. Now for those of you, if you already have the chicken broth that's in the box at home, that's fine. You can use that. You can use that, but again, I prefer to make my own because it definitely is more flavorful. So I'm going to add about, we're going to start with about 1.5 teaspoons maybe. I'm just eyeing it, you guys, so I'm not measuring it. So that was the sauteed onion. And then we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of the roasted garlic. Okay. Now what I'm going to do once I start fixing the broth, once I get this in the pan, I'm going to taste it to make sure that it's giving me enough flavor. And if not, that's the point that I want to add a little bit more. And if this water was hot, of course it would really dissolve better, but it's okay because I'm going to heat it up when I get it in my skillet. So everything that's not dissolved will dissolve. Okay. So we're going to set that aside. My grease is starting to pop just a little bit. So we're going to go on and start adding our chicken. And we're going to cook this chicken about 4 minutes on each side. And yes, I'm going to have to cook this in 2 batches because I don't want to overcrowd my pan. Okay, I'm going to turn down my burner to low while I take out this chicken. Isn't that pretty? But you guys remember, it's not done. Okay? It is not done. So we're going to sit it here to let it drain for a little bit while we get this broth together. Okay? Now you see when I added the last batch of chicken that I did add 1 more tablespoon of the bacon grease. Okay, because I needed just a little bit more grease to cook that last batch. Now this is what's left. You see all this yummy goodness that's in here, all of these seasonings. We want to keep every bit of this. Okay, now normally if I was doing like a regular gravy, I would add my flour now, but because I want to taste this broth to make sure it's seasoned enough, I don't want to add my flour now, because when I add the broth it will immediately start thickening up, and that's not what I want. Okay, so right now it's on low. I'm going to carefully add this broth. Make sure you add it slow because it's going to pop on you. Okay. What I'm going to do that I don't always do is I'm going to add it to, this is about 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And you guys, I am trying my best to give you all measurements because I don't cook like this. I cook by sight and taste and touch. But I'm just going to make a little slurpy so when I'm ready for it I can just pour it in. And this is what's going to help thicken up the my gravy. Okay, so I'm gonna get it smooth, and then I'm gonna add, kind of like I do when I'm doing my powdered sugar for the cakes. You don't want to add too much liquid in the beginning, because once you add it, you can't get it out. But then once you get it smooth, then we're going to add a little bit more, because I want it just really pourable. And that's what you call like a Slurpee. Okay? In the meantime, let me turn this heat up. I'm going to turn it up on high so it can start heating up. Okay, getting hot. Okay. I think that's going to do it. Alright. So y'all see what this looks like? Okay. So right now I have just that water, which I made broth with. Now that I'm done with my little Slurpee, I can add the rest of this. And I'm going to go on and add my, I guess about 1.5 cups of my heavy whipping cream. You guys notice I use that same measuring cup that I just took the broth out of. Y'all don't be messing up all them dishes when you're cooking. Too much. Okay. So now I'm getting ready to taste this, because again, I cook by taste. We started off with about a teaspoon and a half of each of the Better Than Bouillon. So let me just taste it to see if it has enough flavor. Okay, and it does not. It doesn't have enough flavor for me, so I'm going to add some more. And this is what I suggest you do. You know, just do it until it's your desired taste, because my sodium taste buds and your sodium taste buds may be two totally different taste buds. It may be enough. It may be salty enough for me, but it may be too salty for you. Okay? So at this point, just add what you need until you get it to your desired saltiness. And yes, I don't mind mixing my bouillons like that. Okay? If I stick a spoon in my roasted garlic, I don't mind sticking that same spoon in my roasted chicken or sauteed onions. Now it's to my desired taste. So I know I added at least a tablespoon of each, but again, you may not want that much. Alright? So now we're starting to simmer a little bit. My burner is on 5, and I'm going to add my about 3 tablespoons of butter. Be careful when you're putting that butter in there. Don't let it plop, because that liquid is hot. And honey, if it plops on you, it's going to remind you with the quickness that it is hot. Okay, now before I add my little Slurpee, I wanted to kind of start it kind of start simmering a little more, turning into a boil. And it's important too, when you start adding this Slurpee, to make sure that you're stirring while you're adding, okay? We don't want any lumps. So you just stir, 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 stir. Turn my burner up to about 8. So I want it to start boiling. Now I'm going to add my heavy whipping cream slowly as I stir. And you guys, I was hoping I was going to be able to put my chicken back in this, but honey, with my husband liking all of this gravy, there is no way. So while that's getting hot again, I don't want to run away from me, so I'm going to turn it back down to about 6. I sprayed this casserole dish with this olive oil spray, okay? I'm just going to add my chicken to the dish. And you all, with my gravy, I don't want it really, really thick, so it's going to be a loose gravy. Or a creamy sauce, if you will. And you guys, this has been simmering for a couple of minutes. Like I said, I don't want a thick gravy, but I don't want it real runny either. I'm not sure if this is going to thicken up as much as I want it to. Just want just a little thickness to it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add a little bit to the bottom of this casserole dish. Now, this is the kind of stuff I do. I'm going to take just a little bit of flour, and I'm putting it through a strainer or a sifter, because I don't want big chunks of it, okay? So I'm adding maybe about another tablespoon. I'm just going to put it in the bottom of this casserole dish. Not really putting it directly on the chicken. I mean, I'm not making a big deal if some gets on there, but I'm not trying to get it on the chicken. Okay. Okay. And again, that keeps it from being, you know, having the big lumps of flour in there. And that's going to help that just thicken up just a little bit more. Guys, see how I did that? Just added just a little bit of flour at the bottom. Okay, you guys. So now I'm getting ready to pour, very carefully, pour this sauce over this chicken. You guys be very careful when you do this part. And when you're pouring a hot liquid like this, you always want to pour it away from you. Lord, my husband and all of his gravy. Oh my goodness. Make sure that burner is off all of his gravy. Okay. So we're getting ready to go in the oven. And of course, I realized I have no aluminum foil because I do want to cover it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to improvise. You guys, this is what you do in the kitchen. Let go that boom. So the fact that I just realized I do not have any foil, I'm going to cover it with this pan. Okay? So once we get it in, I'll use the pan to cover it. Yeah, that's what you have to do sometime in the kitchen. You better learn how to improvise when you're cooking. Improvise. Okay, we're going in 300, not 300. Y'all, this is not a cake, Miss Donna. You're not baking a cake. We're going in on 400 degrees. It is covered. I'm going to set my timer. We're going to bake this in all maybe about 35-40 minutes. You want your chicken done. Make sure it's done. 165 was it Fahrenheit? So make sure your chicken is done. And I'm going to bake it the first 20 minutes covered, and then I'll come back and uncover it and bake it at least another 10 or 15 minutes. All right, we are coming out of the oven, sizzling hot. So I turned it down. Not turned it down. I took off the covering after the first 20 minutes and then just let it stay in there, and we baked it another 20 minutes. So now I'm just garnishing with the parsley. Y'all know how we do. And then we're going to let it rest just a few minutes before I cut into a piece of this chicken. You guys, that looks so creamy and delicious. Well, I'm just going to put it on the plate so they can see it. And that don't mean all this is for you. I mean, I need to get a thumbnail.
This is baked or fried?
Baked, honey.
Give me some more, because that's I'm doing better. That's right. I can get a lot because it's baked.
You said you was doing better.
I am doing better.
Again.
I'm doing a whole lot better. You people, I'm doing so much better. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for helping me do better. Oh, Lord.
Well, no, I'm just trying. I just need to get a thumbnail. Then we can take some of this out.
Trying to make me do bad.
Come on, honey.
What? Get my spoon.
What's that? But do you have to be so close, honey?
Okay.
Y'all already know.
Okay. Let me try it.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to keep it from sliding. Move over to the right just a tad. Move over to the honey. Back. Look, y'all.
Move over to the right.
You won't even let me. Oh, my Jesus. Okay, I still have to do your salad, babe.
What salad? Just get a salad with it?
Yes. But you can taste it now if you want to.
I love rice.
I know you do.
The rice is good for you. Ooh, that looks so tender.
It has a creamy sauce with it. And you guys, this is different than like doing the cream of chicken. You know?
Oh, different. What is it?
It's not creamy chicken.
What is it?
It's just a creamy sauce. It's smothered in this creamy sauce that I did with it.
What you smothered the
And
sauce
then I had to do all the extra sauce because he likes to drown his rice in sauce.
Oh, I know dry rice.
I know you don't, babe. Okay, is it good? You gonna tell everybody about?
Like what you do, is this something?
I mean, well, honey, you're gonna have to eat later. I was just really trying to get a thumbnail and trying to close this video out. You have to get
It's like a show-off plate.
It's for the thumbnail, babe. I have to finish fixing your plate.
Bye.
Y'all, listen. Okay, I hope this wasn't too confusing for you guys. I be trying my best to give y'all measurements. So it has been sitting for a little bit, so the sauce
Has marinated.
no.
What it do?
You know, it's more of a creamy sauce.
That's a good
Okay, it's not real thick. So it's good. It really is good. Look, I keep trying to show y'all. If I drop this in the floor,
I'll be
you
down
be
like
mad.
a puppy. I'll be on the floor like a puppy.
You be on the floor like a puppy, baby.
They hit the
Okay,
floor.
but you guys, I'm trying. So look, another. I told y'all chicken. That backyard bird. That's what my mama used to call it. Honey, you're gonna have to save this for
What?
because you have to get the rest of your food. You need to get your vegetables, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't feel like doing all of that, I think I have a recipe where I just added cream of chicken where it's already done. You just add the cream of chicken and then you bake. If I do have that, I'll link it here. But anyway, let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time.
Hit the nosy.
Bye. You just ready to get back to eating.